About the black girl effect.
Yeah.
So tell me how did that conversation come about?
Yeah.
And then tell me what you were thinking when you said what you said.
So what was the black girlfriend effect is essentially like when a white guy dates a black girl, he starts to glow up. He like starts to like look better, and he gets like a beard and a shape up, and he's just like fine. And I've heard of the black girlfriend effect, obviously. So what was he saying it, referencing it? It was like Travis Kelce or something like that.
Yeah, I think because he was saying they glow up, they start to look different, they get beards and things like that. And I think you said but they go bald because
that's what I was like. So for me, I'm like, this is a comedy podcast. I'm like making a joke. First of all, I hate explaining jokes. I can't believe I'm even doing this. It's like so stupid. But so I'm like, what is the opposite take?
Right.
A lot of times in comedy, the opposite take is the funny thing.
Look at the other side.
So you go the other side and you try to defend the indefensible or whatever it is. This is what I've done my entire career. So the opposite take is, no, actually the reason why they're shaping up their hair because they're going bald, because they're stressed out, they're going to beards, so there's more padding in case they get slapped.
Right.
It's just the opposite take of the black girlfriend effect being, you look so much better.
Right.
It's really not that sophisticated. But they went on another podcast and say they didn't think that girls in Atlanta were pretty. So black women in Atlanta were very offended by these two English dudes, black dudes, that were basically calling girls in Atlanta ugly. This is like the hub of black culture in America. And you're just gonna call the black women ugly. So they were ripping them, and then they started ripping them for laughing at my joke. So it wasn't really about what I said. It was, look how corny these guys are, and they are corny. Look how corny these guys are. Here's another example of their corniness. Right? And then Ryan Clark took a break from posting pictures of his outfits on Instagram to do a whole soliloquy.
Man, why you on RC, man?
Bro.
Did you have a conversation?
I love his Instagram. The outfit posts are amazing.
Right.
Like the group chat is always full of the outfit. Like we can't wait for the new Ryan Clark outfit drop. The second the new outfit where he's walking the streets and the smoke is in the background and like an inspirational quote, you know what I mean? That's like, ugh.
You need to have a conversation. Ryan's a good dude, man.
No, I know. Everybody tells me he's a good dude, but he did that and he it just felt like it was all clout, and he tried to make it this big thing, and he's like, by the end of it, he's like, he's one of these guys that like wants to say the N-word but doesn't, and I was like, what the is going on? Like, what are we even talking about?
Right.
The story is about those guys who insulted the black women.
Right.
And laughing at that joke. And then he kind of reframed it and then made it about me.
But then they go on and says, well, I probably should have kicked the cameras over and punched him in his face because
I should have done a lot of shit. Everybody should have done a lot of shit.
But that was the opportunity. I mean, I didn't say he had to do all that, but he could have said, bro, I don't think that's funny.
But he thought it was funny.
Exactly. Until he got got blowback for it.
And then he thought it was going to affect the bottom line. And then, then you just do whatever. But that's the problem, is a lot of people aren't willing to take the criticism.
Right.
Like it or not, I don't sway from criticism.
Right.
I don't say you can't criticize me.
Right.
But I'm not bending like they're going to bend. Like, then you're just a plastic bag in the wind.
Right.
Then whatever the people say becomes your identity, and then people can't trust you. In my opinion, I think deep down people do respect when you have your own constitution, your own rules.
Right.
I say I make fun of everybody.
Right.
And I'm always going to do that. Doesn't matter what the group is. I'm going to do it.
You mentioned that you was early in your career, you was telling a joke and a guy punched you. Was that the only incident with somebody?
No, I used to get in fights all the time.
Is that's why you started boxing, to learn how to fight so you can defend yourself?
I mean, I think it's important for a man to be able to defend themselves. I think it's good for your self-esteem and your character. Now, I'm no tough guy. I'm not trying to fight people ever. But I do think for your confidence I think every guy should kind of learn some form of self-defense. You know what I mean?
You ain't hit him? You got a mic stand. You ain't hit it with the mic stand.
Bro,
you ain't throw the mic.
Also, you have to understand, this show is at a restaurant. I'm performing on the floor in front of the bus station at the restaurant. So I thought he's getting up to go to the bathroom or something. I got no clue exactly what's going on. It's not like he walked up onto the stage. I mean, my spidey sense was tingling. You know what I mean?
No, after you hit you
I was on 118th and Malcolm X.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They were tingling the second I got above 96th Street. They were tingling. Yeah.
So did but that didn't deter you from telling, because clearly he was
I've
offended.
had people throw bottles of beer at me. I've had
Not recently. That's early in your career.
Yeah,
not
early
now.
in my career.
Right.
Yeah. Because at that time you have the ideas,
Right.
but you don't have the skills to make them funny
land.
every single time. It's still got to be silly enough.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, that joke that I made about the with the shits and gigs about
Yeah.
the black woman effect. Right. It wasn't silly enough where even like the most person who is most easily offended still found it funny.
Okay.
But there's a way where it can be silly. There's a way where there's like an artistry in it, and like early in my career, I hadn't developed the artistry. And like now, like when I'm on stage, I think it's different than podcasts where you're just shooting the shit.
Right.
But on the stage, I think I'm pretty good at like getting away with that.
Where are you on joke stealing? Because I've heard people say, nah, that's taboo. Don't steal no
can't do
jokes. And then some I've heard comedians lately say, hey, write better jokes. My pushback is, if somebody writes a song, sings a song, and then you come behind and and change a few words, write a better song? No, you stole that person's song.
Yeah, you can't steal. You can't steal. It's like it's also in comedy. You have to understand, like, comedy's really popular now.
Yeah.
Shout out Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like, it's just amazing his influence and like really just made it this like cultural sensation. Right. But the reality is that like before that, we weren't really cared about or respected. You know, I love comedy always. Like, I grew up on comedy, but like, it's not like Hollywood took it serious. There's not a lot of money in it, to be honest with you. Now there's money, but like back then, Hollywood couldn't make real things out of it. They tried to make a sitcom, but stand-up they're not really caring about. So the only thing we had were these jokes. And the idea that like, it could take you a year to develop a joke. And then somebody else goes and does it. That's fighting.
Even if they change the premise of it, like I might tell a joke with a bottle, and you tell a joke with a can. It's still.
Here's the thing: if they're stealing it, this is another thing comics got to understand too. Is like, it's possible more than one person has the same idea. So like, if somebody is stealing, like they're literally going, "Hey, I saw that. No, I'm going to use it." That's wrong.
Right.
But like, there's jokes that I do or have done that I've seen other people kind of do similar.
I get it. Yeah.
And like my knee-jerk reaction isn't that guy's a thief. My knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, I thought it was a more unique idea than it is, but maybe somebody else also had a unique idea.
Right.
Like, I don't want to immediately put thief on you.
Yeah.
And now with the internet, and this is the shit that's like humbling, I think, to comics, is like, there's billions of people tweeting the funniest thing they could tweet.
Yeah.
Every angle about the president getting shot in the air is going to be said. You're not going to say anything like that only you said.
Right.
Like, that's even why, this isn't the reason why, but like my last special, not to like shamelessly plug, but like just a really personal story.
Plug it.
Nah, but it's on Netflix March 4th. No. But like, it's a personal story because this is the thing I went through. So I hope other people talk about, you know, maybe trouble getting pregnant and starting a family. But I hope other people do, so it takes away the stigma. But also like, this is my experience.
That's your story.
So there's, you know what I mean? Like, in a time where everybody can have their hot take about politics or whatever it is, I felt like maybe this is going to be more unique, and I can separate myself a little bit from it. Yeah,
I get that, because sometimes, like, I don't watch sports with the sound.
Wait, really?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want them to influence what I'm going to say.
For example?
So when I'm watching a football game, there's no sound.
This is so interesting. When I'm creating a set, like when I'm creating whatever, I don't watch any stand-up. When I'm creating my hour, I don't watch it because I don't want it to influence me at all. Wow. So now you know when you go up that night and you say something, if Stephen A. said something similar, you in your heart at least know you both just... Good for you, and what a great idea. Because it sucks if that is your reaction, and then you see someone else having, you're like, but I organically thought of that. Like, I never saw it.
And sometimes I'm like, well, such and such said that. I was like, I don't know what he said, because I didn't listen to the sound, so I don't know what he or she said. This is what I'm watching the game, this is what I deduce from it.
Do you put music on with it? Do you put a podcast on with it? So you just watch in silence?
I'm just watching in silence.
Like a serial killer.
But you know, it's gotten so bad, I watch all stuff like that now. I watch regular TV. It drives my.
So you got subtitles on?
No, I'm just looking.
Shannon, this is a problem, bro.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before 2 something.